From what I understand it was. I don't know the details of it. Yeah. It's just some challenges.
That's not my mind. We're on the other seat. Hold on. Okay.
Wait a second.
Okay.
He had a lot of confidence. He had a lot of confidence in the council.
Yeah, no, he did.
I don't think he'll win. Right. I think Kevin's coming.
He's
Got
got
a minute. Got a minute. Oh, we do still have a minute anyways, yeah. He's timed it perfect. Timed it right. Yeah.
It's all part of the plan. He's got to see his plan.
Yeah.
I teach either.
That kid has been.
Freshman. Nick was like, he just over there. He now is a junior. Paper in his hand. Thank you.
Thank you.
Buddy. So we are going to call to order the May 15th, or May 13th, 2026 Liberty Perry School Corporation. Welcome. We would like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. For first order of business, we're looking for an approval of tonight's agenda. Motion.
Second.
Motion to approve. Mr. Bob Cook, second. Mr. Kevin Newmeyer, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Next, we are looking for approval of the minutes from the following: April 6th, or April 8th, regular board meeting minutes, April 8th, first preliminary determination hearing, and the April 15th, second preliminary determination hearing.
Move to accept 3A, B, and C.
Motion by Mr. Kevin Newmeyer,
Second.
second Ms. Karen Wolf. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Number 4, patron comments. This is a chance for the public to speak.
We do have two, Frankie and Sarah both want to speak, so.
Frankie or Sarah, either one. You can do whatever you like. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna sit down because I'm not going to speaking to public, but I'm going to give my all. I know we're going to talk about getting rid of the permanent subs at the schools here in a little bit. I have talked to multiple people in the elementary school. For those who don't know, I'm a permanent sub at the elementary school. I talked to multiple people at the elementary school to make sure I heard the same thing they heard in the meeting we had, that nobody was going to lose their jobs over this, budget cuts. Everybody said that's exactly what we heard. But here I am. I'm losing my job at the end of the school year. There are very few days at the elementary school they do not need a sub. And even on the days that I'm not subbing, you will never, ever, ever find me not doing something. Word started to trickle through the school of me not coming back next year. And the entire school is beside themselves because, like, I'm a lot of those teachers secondhand. Even if they have an aide, a lot of times they will call on me to come help them. And guys, I'm not saying this just because I'm losing my job. The one at high school, middle school is as well. I just feel like I need to stand up for myself. There's been a few days this semester that I walked in school without a job placement. And there was 4 to 5 subs in the building, and I did not have a job. That was money that could be saved, at least in one spot, because I should have been in there. I'm the number one person to be called on. For example, today, now there wouldn't have been much I could have done because I was in a job, but today was total chaos at the elementary this morning. We got there, all 3rd grade teachers were out. We've known this for weeks. 2 of the subs called in. I was already in the classroom. I had to help keep one classroom contained while our assistant principal was trying to figure out what to do. He ended up coming down and taking 2 of the classrooms into one class until we found somebody. We are pulling RTI teachers out of their classrooms to come sub because we didn't have anybody. I mean, even in the middle of the day, they were still pulling people. And then when I'm not there next year, like on days when something emergency comes up and a teacher has to leave, I'm always there. Like, always there. And again, I'm not saying this just because I'm losing my job, guys. Please do not think I'm just saying it because I'm losing my job. I can find another job. It's just the fact that I don't know that you guys realize how much the elementary needs the permanent sub every day. Every single day. There's days that they called me up to work in the office if Amy Dudley wasn't there or if Lindsay Dowd wasn't there. I helped them in the office. Wherever I'm needed, I have never, ever, ever told them I would not do something. And they know that. Like, they know I will do everything under my power to do everything they ask me to do. I feel like I have done my job well, and I just feel like this has been a kick in the gut to say, hey, sorry, I'm not coming back next year. So just keep that in mind. And I don't know about the other school. I'm not over there anymore. I don't know how much he works. I don't know how much he subs. I don't know, so I can't speak for him. And for the elementary school, it's a job that is going to be missed next year.
We have anything? Thanks for coming and talking to us.
I guess I do have one question. How often do you not sub? When you say, like, do we have a...
Well, I was going to ask Amy Dudley today to look it up, but she wasn't in school. The first couple weeks of school, obviously, is hit and miss because not many teachers take off during the first couple weeks of school. But come closer to fall break, I probably subbed 3 out of 5 days in a classroom, like for certain. And then the past, probably since spring break, I think there's maybe been 2 weeks total that I did not have a placement that day. Like, I'm in a classroom every day.
And you mentioned a few of the days that you don't have a placement. We did have other subs.
Yeah, a couple times I pulled in and I'm like, okay, that's a subs card. That's a subs card. So I go to my will sub and I'm like, okay, I'm really not anywhere today. So I didn't understand why I didn't have a job, but I'm getting paid to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're paying them $95 a day to come in and sub, and at least one of them didn't need to be there.
Another question, did you sub at the high school or middle school at all? Were you just elementary sub?
This school year, yes. Last school year, up until the second semester, I did sub all 3 schools, but then I took over for Daisy Gibson and her maternity leave. So I was there the whole second semester last year too.
Without knowing, I'm just wondering if maybe some of those schools also had subs, even though you were a permanent sub for elementary. I don't know the answer to that. If we could have sent you to maybe the middle school, high school, and not called that sub in since you were, you are an employee of ours.
And in the future, if a permanent sub comes back up, maybe that would be an option, have a permanent sub, but if that sub doesn't have a job at that specific school that they're usually at, maybe they could go to one of the other 2 schools and alleviate another sub.
Can I add super short based on this? For us in the high school, if we ever want a sub, we're supposed to first well, there's a form that we had to ask Mr. Tambani first, and only after he says that he's not available for whatever day we request, then we're allowed to go to WhatsApp. So in that instance, that you have 4 teachers going straight to WhatsApp, I feel like you should have been
A
asked
couple of the
first.
now, I will give grace to a couple teachers, they were newer, they didn't know that's how it was done. But a lot of times over here, instead of them going into that form she's talking of, speaking of, they will contact Mr. Craig first. And I know he's been really overwhelmed with subs because it's new to him, and we've given him grace on that as well. And he gets overwhelmed sometimes, but he's done an excellent job. And sometimes he just, I know one time he just completely overlooked, he thought I was in a room. And then when I got there and I'm standing there helping with, kids coming in the building, he was like, aren't you supposed to be at so-and-so's room? I'm like, no, sir. You didn't put me there. So, I mean, it happens. You can overlook things, but yes, you're right. They do have that form too.
Does the elementary form not have your name first?
I don't know. I've never seen the form.
The form has, for us, the form has only Mr. Tambani's name.
Mhm.
So I believe the form that the message will only have.
Secure the person's name.
Is it that? I don't know.
Does it have her name first?
That's,
Okay.
yeah, it should be the only name.
Okay. Anything else? Thank you for
Thanks.
asking.
I'm gonna have to stand because Brady's too tall. No, you're fine, Drew. I want to talk similar situation as to that. One of the concerns that we have in high school is splitting the treasurer's position between the middle school and the high school. That may sound great because if you don't fully understand everything that other people use the treasurer for. So for example, student council, yearbook, whenever some of these extracurriculars have fundraisers or things that they have to deal with the treasurer, we have to generally wait till our prep time to take money down, to go ask questions, to get, bills paid and things like that. Well, if we've only got a treasurer there half a day, if they're there in the morning and our prep is in the afternoon, we are not going to have that time to see that treasurer and get that money to them. Well, student council, for example, when we sell cookies, we've got a few $100s. I'm lucky enough that I have a filing cabinet in my room that I can lock it in until the next bet. Cecilia doesn't. A lot of these teachers that deal with money for extracurriculars and such don't have a way to lock the money until they have the opportunity to see the treasurer. So that's kind of a concern that I have with splitting between the two schools, is how are we going to find the time that is going to be beneficial to everybody that uses that position? Because it is her office is in the main office, but it's a position that everybody in the school, almost everybody in the school, uses. It's not just the people in the office that use the treasurer. So I've got a concern with that. My other concern deals with the English department at the high school. This year, we have lost 40%. After this year, after Mr. Robinson retires, we've lost 40% of our department. We lost 2 teachers at the end of this year. We will be down 2 teachers in the English department because we did not replace Mrs. Giordano when she left at the beginning of the school year. We are now not replacing Mr. Robinson when he leaves at the end. English is the only department in the high school that every student is required to have 4 years of English. And we have 3 teachers now. And we have to see, in essence, every student that walks through that building. And so we've cut that department by 40% by not replacing these teachers. And what is happening that I just found out, I've got to teach an additional class other than my freshman English classes, which means now instead of having 5 periods of freshman English, I'm going to have 4, which means larger class size, which means less personal attendance to those students. My understanding, we are bringing someone over from the middle school to teach 1 or 2 classes. That's going to condense her class load as well. So we're getting bigger classes and less personal attention for these students that, again, Everybody in the middle school has to have that English class. Everybody in high school has to have 4 years, and yet we have other departments that don't have a 4-year requirement for that academic that have more staff than the English department does now. So that's my concern. So sorry, one thing. So I think sometimes when and I get it, it's budget issues. I mean, just the other day on the news, they were talking about all the administration positions that IPS was having to cut. They were talking about other schools that were having to cut different positions. And I get it, but I think sometimes we don't see the ripple effect of what is happening here. We just see that, okay, this one's leaving, so we don't have to replace that. But it's more than just not replacing somebody who's retiring. It's impacting all the other classes in that department. So, okay.
Anybody have anything? Thank you for speaking. Without people coming and telling us, like, face to face, it's tough for us to get all the information. So thank you very much for sharing that. Moving forward to number 5, claims and treasurer report approval. I had already asked Aaron a few questions I had, and he answered them. So
I have a question.
motion approved. Mr. Bob Cook, second, Mr. Kevin Niemeyer. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Next, we're going to move to personnel. A recommendations: Amanda Thrasher, SES summer school teacher; Courtney Dragoo, SES summer school teacher. Is that still her last name? Courtney Dragoo? Or is it? Maybe I'm thinking of her sister. Okay. Scott Ratliff. I'm thinking of her sister. Okay. Wapani High School summer school teacher, sorry. And our resignations be Barb Nevado, Selma Middle School science teacher; Amanda Gustin, our Selma Middle School, Wapahani High School nurse. Motion to approve 6A through C.
So moved.
Mr. Kevin Niemeyer.
Second.
Second, Bob Cook. Any discussion? Motion, or all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Got ahead of myself. Number 7, the fun stuff. Updates and presentations. Wapahani Student Council will present to share an update with the board of what they have accomplished during the school year and what they have in mind for next year.
All right, floor is yours.
Hi, my name's Ava Cook. I've been on student council for 3 years now, and I joined student council because I love to serve the community and find a lot of opportunities in it.
My name is Chloe Sipes. I've been on student council for 4 years, and I joined because I want to make school fun.
My name is Brady Mueller, and this is actually my first year on student council. I tried to get in the previous 3 years, and I haven't been able to until this year, but I really wanted to become a part of making the school better and making it like more fun for everybody, and yeah.
My name's Madison Thomas. I am a junior at Wapahani, and this is my first year in student council. I wanted to join student council because I wanted to be able to have a say in what happens in our school and actually make an impact and just get more school involvement with students. Okay, so one of the first things we do is we welcome students back. So we do a lot of different fun activities to help students feel welcome. And some examples are the high fives, which we do in the first week of school. And we just welcome students. We come in early to get there before everyone else, just to make sure everyone has a friend and make sure they feel welcome. And then we also do sidewalk messages. So we do sidewalk chalk, and we just write fun messages. And then we also just try our best to make the school building to feel fun for everyone. We also do pep sessions. So we do the fall, winter, and spring pep sessions. And we do a lot of things for those. It takes a lot of work. We plan out all the games. We gather all the supplies. we also coordinate with like all the sports teams to make sure that they get some recognition for what they do. And we just try to make sure everybody can participate and have fun. And just we get to celebrate each other and all of the things that we do at the school.
We are in charge of all the school dances except for prom, because the juniors do prom. Our first one is the black and white dance, which is in the first semester. And then our second one is the homecoming, which is like obviously the bigger one because it involves the game and much more. First, it takes a lot of planning, and we have committees, so every topic has different committees. So there's like spring pep or fall pep session, or there's homecoming. There's different committees. So there's a committee for the homecoming, which is a big help because it's a lot. And it takes a lot of planning, and you have to figure out dates and times for everything and when we're going to set up for the dances. And everybody has to stay after to make sure that everything gets cleaned up. It takes a lot of decorations, which student council has a storage closet that we keep like all the decorations for. And we use like past decorations too and stuff. And we also have to contact a DJ. And then for homecoming, we have to contact someone from Crabtree, so they can take pictures. We also have to make like papers to promote and advertise the dance, and then student council sits at a table during lunch and we can collect like the tickets. And then this is also a lot of work, is we create the backdrop like handmade, like we make it ourselves, and that takes a long time too. And then during the dance, we work the ticket table, and there will be like drinks, and in the past there's been like bags of chips or something. And then obviously cleaning up after the dance, which we try to get everybody to stay after. And we do dress up days. So we do like Halloween, Christmas, like the week leading up to the break. And that's like to get everyone like involved and to make it more fun, because it's like fun when you get to dress up and come to school and like wear something different.
And it's also nice when staff are involved in dress up days as well.
Yeah.
So Mr. Loomis is up there in his
Yeah.
awesome outfit.
It's funny sometimes. And they also go along with pep sessions. So like before we have a pep session, like winter break, we have a pep session, and then like dress up days. Yeah. And we do dress up days for all the school like sports. So before volleyball county, or if there's a sectionals or something, then we do dress up days for that too. And also homecoming week is like the big week of dress up days, and it's like to hype everybody up. And then homecoming week, which I've already talked about, but we plan and organize like so much. It takes more than a week. But more than the week before homecoming, it takes like weeks and weeks and weeks. It takes forever. And we have to decide on an overall theme. So this year, what was it?
Bringing it home for the
Bringing it
holidays.
home for the holidays. And so every grade had a different holiday, like seniors for Christmas, there was New Year's and Thanksgiving. And that is a lot of like thinking about outside of the student council meetings we have. Like, believe it or not, everybody's actually like brainstorming outside of the meetings on what like we could use, because this is so fun to do. We make dress up days, which there's a committee for dress up days too, so that helps a lot. It's really nice that we have committees. And then we have to decorate the windows, so the windows that are by the courtyard in front of the library and then the other one, we decorate all of those to make like the school fun and welcoming and to try to get everybody involved. We also design and sell homecoming t-shirts, which sometimes we will make them like different colors, or sometimes we put different things on them, but most of the time like they always have like a one print on the front. And then we also hold a spirit game contest, and you can like decorate in the hallway, or not in the hallway, in the library if you can't like do it at home. And at the pep session, everybody wears their jeans, and then they go in the gym and you like vote for them, or certain teachers vote for them. And then we organize the pep session and plan all of that. And then during like, I think this is fun, we do when everybody's coming in for the pep session, we do the school fight song or whatever. Yeah, I think that's fun, but I don't think other people really like it. And we have to like contact Crabtree again and get the pictures organized and figure out elections and make like the document for elections for people to elect. And then the crowning ceremony, we have to buy the crowns, buy the or not buy the sashes. Usually we have the sashes made, but we have to find someone to make the
I was
sashes.
deciding.
Oh, we still buy them. And we get the flowers and buy the flowers. And yeah, and then we also, yeah, that's all. Okay.
So there's a lot of monthly and daily tasks that go into student council. So some of the stuff that we do regularly throughout the school year is we have a calendar that we keep up in a central location in the hallway where a lot of people walk through the day. And it has all of the events on there. It's got club meetings, it's got sporting events, just everything you can think of, like
AP tests.
which is very stressful for them right now. And then every month we do a guessing game, and it's in the library. And I think one month we had little fake flowers, and it has a random amount, and the students get an opportunity to guess how many of whatever is in there that month, and whoever gets the closest number or the correct number will get some sort of prize. Usually it's candy, and that's just so that students have like a fun interactive thing that they can do throughout the month that isn't related to actual schoolwork and submitting assignments. We also do Raider Acts of Kindness, which what that is teachers will nominate a student every month, and all the students who are nominated get some sort of prize as well. But one student who stood out like more than the others, I'd say, gets to be posted on our kindness bulletin board. I was one of these students this year. But it's just a really nice way to recognize students who really go out of their way and just really have a positive impact on the school and the school environment, and do stuff that isn't just for themselves or just getting your work turned in. So we have meetings. Usually it's twice a month, but most of the time it's every single Wednesday. We are working on stuff. We are meeting with our committees. We are making sure that everything that needs to be done gets done. It takes a lot of time outside of the meetings that we are still catching up, but having our student council meetings are a way that everybody in your committee and community stays updated on what is happening. So that is really nice, and it takes a lot of time, but it's good for everybody to stay informed. And then I think we've been doing this for 2 years now, but we've been doing daily announcements. So we go on in the morning and we announce everything. We've been announcing birthdays, just every club, sporting, like achievements, we announce it every single morning. And then this year we did Haunted Hallway, which this took a lot of effort, but it showed in the end. We were very grateful on how it turned out. We were planning this out for over a month in advance. It took a lot of pre-planning for us to make sure everything came out good. So this was our very first year of doing it, but we had more than 400 people walk through, which sounds like a lot, but it is even more when you realize how many people that comes out to be, because that is everybody from elementary school, middle school, high school. Everybody was able to walk through it, and there was a long line they had to wait through for that.
We even talked about doing it last year, and so it took the whole year almost, not necessarily planning, but getting things not planning, I guess, not organizing things, but brainstorming things, because we even talked about it before. Yeah.
So there were 5 rooms that everybody was able to walk through. Seniors had 2, and all the other grades just had 1. And these were rooms that had different themes. One was a blackout room that had dots, and we had blue lights.
Yeah.
So it made the dots that we had on the wall shine. And so the people would blend in with that, and that was a really good way to scare people. And the best room that I think turned out was the seniors' carnival room. A lot of people said good things about it, and it turned out really nice. And it didn't look we did a lot of DIY stuff for this, but it didn't look like that. It looked legit.
It looked like you were walking through a circus.
Yeah.
And the costumes, a lot.
And it took all day
Yeah.
to set up, like, throughout the school day from what we could do. Like,
Yeah, we were setting up for a couple days in advance.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah.
So, so we had to make sure everybody had costumes. All the rooms were decorated, everything was put up. For most of the parts of the haunted hallway, we had to cover the walls or the floors, which took a lot of makeshift hanging from ceilings for the walls, which took a lot of time just to figure out how to do that. And then we had to do a lot of tear down afterwards. I think we were there for over an hour, just making sure everybody had something to do, taking stuff back to where it needed to be, making sure everything was organized and prepared if we were ever to do this again, and making sure that everything got returned because we borrowed some stuff from, I think, the middle school. So we had to make sure everybody got their stuff returned. And a lot of people in general, but also like student council people donated stuff for this event. So we try to do things like with the least amount of cost that we can, because that way we were able to save that money and put it into something that benefits the community. So we were trying to raise money while saving the cost on stuff, and it was completely free to the public as well. So it went on during the trunk or treat, which was nice because then younger kids got to enjoy it. So yeah.
We also do at least one large community outreach service project a year. For the past 2 years, we volunteered at Second Harvest Food Bank. We did that a couple of weeks ago. And then this year, we also sponsored the Hometown Hero banner with the Selma American Legion. And then in years past, we've assisted with the cleanup project at on Smithfield Pike. And then we also make lunch for the staff for Teacher Appreciation Week, and we serve breakfast to bus drivers during the 11 Days of Kindness, which is in November. Right, okay. And then we are all self-funded. We sell cookies at various sporting events. We all sign up at our regular student council meetings to work different shifts. And then we also, for school dances, we sell bids and concessions. So we sell the bids before the dance, during lunch, and then we work in sessions at the dance. And then with the money, we put it back into the school and community. We buy supplies for the many student council projects and events. We support other clubs. We purchase items for the school. We donate to disaster relief and WHS families or students in need. And we donate to local community organizations.
And I have one more thing to say. I'm in NHS and I'm in student council, and this isn't this isn't anything bad towards NHS, but I think that student council should get a cord at graduation because NHS does a lot. They do a lot of like community service and stuff, but we plan everything for the school other than prom. So I think that we should get in the upcoming years a cord at graduation. That's all I'm saying. I definitely agree with that. I put a lot more effort into student council than I have for NHS. And it would be nice to be recognized, because we don't get recognition for really anything that we do, and we plan everything for school. Yeah.
Very good, thank you. I'll take that under advisement. And kudos to your two teachers who I literally see at everything. So as much as you all are there, those two adults sitting behind you are there as well. So it's pretty impressive. You do a lot for us, so thank you.
Chloe, good idea for the cord. I like it. You guys blew me away. For young adults your age, you made eye contact. You spoke with confidence. You kept our attention. You had funny anecdotes. And the things that you are doing is definitely making you a leader in our community. So just appreciate you guys coming in and sharing that with us.
Good job, guys.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, job. Okay, wow, that was great. So moving on to number 8, new business. A is recommendation to approve the contract with Atlan Construction for Selma Middle School bathroom and office remodel project for summer of 2026. B is recommendation to approve superintendent to proceed phase 1 with exploratory Yeah, I said that right. Planning on the proposed Liberty Perry Innovation Micro School at Camp Red Wing. Approval of this item authorizes continued study, planning, and stakeholder engagement only, and does not constitute final approval for program implementation. So I'm gonna separate C and D. So right now, we're gonna vote on 8A through B. So I need a motion to approve A through B. And did you want to talk at all about the Red Wing thing, or?
Just on, the only clarification is here, one, meeting with the owners, Corey and the Mill Homes, about that they have interest in expanding their property as far as how it's being used, and they brought their kids here and love Liberty Perry. And it's a neat opportunity if you're following the micro school movement in the state of Indiana, but I really just wanted the board's approval to even look into this before I spent any time doing so. If you guys had no interest in pursuing it in the future, but if you're okay with me having community conversations on the topic, that's what I'm asking for tonight.
I think Corey and Slade started at Monroe with their,
They did.
yeah, so their children were at Monroe. They're right on the line. And a really nice family to have out here. They've done a lot for the community. It looks like it can be a huge opportunity for us, for sure.
I'll motion to approve A and B.
Second from Kara. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. So I think we'll do 8C separate from 8D. So
Is there, I don't know how anybody else feels, but I'd kind of like to discuss C and D.
I'd like to table them, but I can't do that as the president. So Kevin's making a motion to table C and D. Kara's gonna second that. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries 5-0 to table those, have more discussion, and come back later for those. So thank you for doing that. So we're gonna work on
Good motion, sorry.
Kevin and Kara seconded. So we're gonna work on 8E through K, I believe, unless somebody wants me to separate one of those. Recommendation to approve placing Barbara Novato, I apologize if I don't pronounce your name right, on paid administrative leave for the remaining of the 13 contract days of 2025-26 school year, effective May 5th, 2026 through May 20th, with regular compensation and benefits continuing to the end of the contract period. Number F is recommendation to approve the 2026 summer school plans. G is recommendation for approval of preschool staffing structure, pay rates, program fees for 2026 and 27. H is recommendations to approve 2025-26, 27 Wapani High School course description guide. I, recommendation to accept a donation for the amount of $500 to support the SCA's playground project. This donation comes from David Mike Griffey in memory of his wife, Alta Griffey. J, recommendation to approve the student handbook for Selma Elementary, Selma Middle School, and Wapani High School. K, review on first reading of proposed student cell phone policy and faculty student cell phone enforcement policy. Do I have a motion for?
Motion.
Okay.
Second.
Any discussion? I do have a little bit of discussion personally, but if anybody else has any discussion. I did speak with Aaron today or yesterday about H, and I don't know if you all looked through that, but that's our course description guide, and we are currently ending our computer science program. I'm against that fully. Aaron explained to me the reason is we don't really have anyone in place to.
Mr. Stamen, business license, so they're leaning into a business pathway, and that will fill his schedule. So that's.
Yeah. So personally, I'm not happy about that, honestly. One of the things when I got on the board was to try to push computer science and some of our IT departments. I feel that we're failing in those areas as a school. That's my personal opinion. I expressed it to Aaron. I think we talked about it and coming to a conclusion of maybe it's just a temporary thing, correct? If we get to the opportunity where we can introduce that back, that's gonna be top of our priority to get that back for our students. So that's just something I want to share. And then I did talk to Aaron about a couple things in the handbook, and just because it's the first we're really not voting on whether they're in there, right?
On the cell phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that was just something, number 10, when you look at, reasons for expulsion, it mentioned pagers and just owning a cell phone and just having a cell phone on school property. Obviously, there was a law passed today that they're gonna be turned off, but our handbook, as is written, that we could expel a child just for owning a cell phone and having it on school property. So I think we're gonna look into changing that. And the only other question I had was K, with the law that was passed today, it looks like it's bell to bell. And our policy doesn't exactly say that. My question is will that be our policy? So I'm saying on the bus is fine,
Yes,
and then after school activities is fine.
correct.
Okay. Okay, that's the only question that I had for K, so.
There's no exemptions for that.
There are health exemptions. For example, diabetic student that needs to monitor blood sugar through their device. But there are some
Well, if
medical
the student were
exemptions.
to have a health emergency during school hours.
So, the answer to that is we'd have to use our classroom phones, landlines to make calls out in the situation of emergency. And our staff will still have their cell phones accessible as well.
What would be the penalty if we ignored this?
Well, I don't think I think we're going to get policy that's handed to us because it is law. I don't think it's good precedent to ignore the law, but
That's what I would have said up until now.
yeah.
That is really stupid, and I would tell anybody from the
Sure.
state that that's really stupid.
I agree completely.
Stupid.
We do have the ability, though, with your discretion, to grant certain students for certain reasons, and teachers, is my understanding, if they're going to use those in the classroom for classroom tasks, they're able,
Not students, teachers, yes.
just teachers,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, students, no. The only
Okay.
exemptions currently in the law are based on medical type exemptions. For that, outside of that, cell phones by law, starting July 1, will be expected to be powered off from 8 to 3 during the school day.
It was signed today, so we'll see if it lasts, I guess.
Stupid.
But, yeah, I agree with you, Kevin. So we've already discussed, we've already had a motion, we're just looking to vote. Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Review of reports, enrollment reports. For some reason, do we not have the blue copy of those? On the email, I don't think we can click those this time. It might be my mistake, I don't know.
I'll double check the link.
Yeah, just for next month, maybe.
No big changes in April with enrollment. I think we're down 1 kid total in April. Any other questions on ECA or?
No. Okay, so number 10 is patron comments. Even though some of you have already spoke, you have a chance to speak again. We ask that you don't be repetitive, but if you have anything else to say, please say. That's students also. Anyone? Corporation staff comments.
Sorry.
Go ahead, please.
So the course description guide
Mhm.
and the student handbook,
Mhm.
in the past, we typically as staff have been sent our sections of our course description guide and any changes with the handbooks. I personally have seen neither. So I don't even know if the course description is describing what I teach properly because I've not seen it.
That's not good. We can definitely get that fixed and figured out. Thank you for bringing it to our attention. Appreciate that.
I have another question too, sorry. I know it says first reading on cell phone policy. Is it 2 required or 3 readings?
2.
Okay. Because I think there are some interesting aspects of the staff policy that are somewhat inconsistent with the student policy. And, you know, you asked about exceptions and things like that. There's a plethora of exceptions for students, but none of that is addressed in specific verbiage on the staff.
That's a good point. I believe the student one's gonna be mandated from the state.
Correct.
And then the staff one, we're gonna work, so any conversation through email or personal with any of us or Aaron or all this together would be greatly appreciated.
Well, and In all honesty, I don't use mine because I get such poor reception in my room. The first thing, as soon as I know I can get on my computer, which now we have double authentication, which we have to do through our phones.
Yeah,
So there's a little bit of an irony there.
yeah,
Once I'm on my computer, I turn mine off. So, I mean, it's not an issue for me, but ironically, today was an interesting aspect that, when I had taken my yearbook kids to a workshop, in the fall, I had taken pictures on my phone that I needed to transfer to the yearbook computer so we could use those on the yearbook spread within the book. And so I had to turn my phone on to try and transfer those over, which it did not work. But in the back of my mind, I'm sitting here kind of chuckling like, next year I may not be able to do this, and it's work related. So
yeah, sure, we can figure that out. That'll be a pretty easy one. Kendra?
I will say, sadly, I use mine a lot during the day, but it's because I've got kids at both buildings and aides at both buildings, and so to communicate back and forth, it's easier to text, hey, I need this student, send him over. Or, they'll say, hey, so-and-so's having an issue, I need you to come over here, and I can go. When a lot of times we don't want to announce that stuff over radios for everybody in the corporation to hear. So, I don't know how that will play out.
Yeah, just to be clear on the staff side, what's being discussed, and the reason why I have this in front of the board now was signed by the governor today, but we're supposed to get directive as far as the perfect policy in the view of the IDOE here in the next week or so. Been waiting for that, but on the staff side, it's just for the staff members here, the thought is how do we consistently make sure that if we're going to do this, that we're all doing it, because the fear is if 70% of the teachers say, I'm all in supporting law and the expectation, and 30% don't, it's never gonna work, right? So either we've got to do it or not. So the staff language is more geared towards if staff aren't holding kids accountable to the cell phone. Like there's verbiage in there about staff using their phones, having professional discretion to use their phones as they see needed.
And I agree, there does need to be consistency with this.
Yeah.
These guys can all attest, I can't stand the cell phones for the students. I love that aspect of the law.
Me too.
But I just think there needs to be some more consistency or such. Something else was pointing out to me, I don't know, you might be able to I just noticed you've got the watch on. The comment about the watch, if we don't notice a watch, because I'm not doing, an eye-to-eye pat down on the kids as they come into my room. So if they've got a watch, and it was said that all you have to do for your watch is just kind of move your wrist to see if a message comes in. I don't know.
Yeah.
So how easy is that, just to move your wrist and look down and, oh yeah, I got a message. But if I don't catch that, then potentially I'm in trouble when I'm trying to do my job of teaching. So
I would guess the student policy is going to be black and white, cut and dry from the state. The staff policy is going to be an adaptive learning curve for all of us, and we're going to have a lot of trust with you all. Like we're going to derive the policy, Aaron's going to implement it, but there's going to be a lot of trust involved in your building principal trusting you, and they can trust you until they can't. I mean, that's how it works in life. So you can trust people until you can't trust them. So something like that is going to be just something that happened. But if certain teachers decide that they're not going to do it and they're mandated by the state, as a board and a corporation, our administrators are going to have an ability to discipline those people. So that's kind of what that policy entails. Again, living document until we get it cut in stone. Could take a month, could take longer, but we're going to be very adaptive on our side as to what your needs are, I would assume. So
First 8 weeks is going to be challenging if the board gives the directive to go with the design policy. So.
Thanks for all the comments. Superintendent comments?
I do, and it's a full page, but I promise it won't be a full page worth talking. Just since we were last together in April, I-Learn testing has come and gone, outstanding job there. Freshman biology I-Learn scores this year, out of the gate are pretty unbelievable. So kudos to Ms. Olds and Mr. Winters there. Staff Day Appreciation Week, huge hit. Kudos to these all kids. Just parents, like it blows me away the people that show up to love on our staff. So pretty incredible there. We put 2 balloons in the upper atmosphere. Shout out to Mr. Dudley at the middle school and our 3rd grade team at the elementary school and Jenna for overseeing the grant and implementation of the balloon launches. Really cool projects. Riley Days happened this week. That was a success. I know we didn't have the trucks maybe that we wanted, but vendor wise, I think we were in a really good place. So that was cool. So we had Riley Days, varsity baseball, varsity softball, and junior high track all out there at the same time. So it was kind of a crazy night. And then athletics continue to go on as normal. Graduation practice today. They walk the halls for our kids. It's always a special day, but just a reminder, graduation is June 5th at Emmons Auditorium this year. So I don't know, it's just a reminder, and we're working on our promotional video for enrollment next year, but it's a pretty special place, and that's just since I last saw you in April, the things that have happened. So our people do amazing work, and they carry quite the load, and it's a good place to be. So.
Oh, thank you guys very much for coming out. You are right that sometimes you forget how much it takes to make everything happen at school. And if you guys don't do it, it wouldn't happen. And so, thank you for coming out today.
Mr. Niemeyer?
All 4 of you, on the student council, y'all spoke really well publicly. You're very good at public speaking already, and that's supposedly the #1 phobia in the United States, maybe the world, is speaking publicly. So I'm glad you guys are doing that really well. Maybe you get a lot of practice out of it. That's what it takes. Second of all, I would like to, it's really nice of that Mr. Griffey to make that donation. Are we planning on doing anything to?
Yeah, so they'll be on the plaque and be a part of the ribbon cutting. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. And when will that be?
It's the Monday before school starts, so August 10th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the project will start here right after Memorial Day, but we're going to do ribbon cutting right before we come back to school.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong on the date, but I'll make sure you all know.
Okay, and as far as the cell phone policy, I still lean towards civil disobedience.
Just one thing with the group too. Major impact. A lot of times, sometimes you guys don't realize is that I think the impact that you have for other kids that you do a lot of these events for, these programs for, community things that you're doing. Sometimes it has an impact on kids that might not have the opportunity to have those kind of fun things, maybe in their life or in their community. So I think it's a big deal. So well spoken. You guys did a very good job. All right. Thanks for coming.
Just wanted to, thanks for coming. It was great. Glad you guys do what you do. It makes the school a lot more fun, which is awesome. Yeah, that's what makes Wapahani. You go to some schools and they don't have things going on, and you go home at the end of the day, and this is a community. So thank you, you guys have added to it. Appreciate it.
So I already gave you all some compliments, so I'm not going to add to them, but you did do a wonderful job. I'm going to speak to the teachers and our staff as a whole. When I joined the board 4 years ago, I did have an agenda of things that I wanted to get accomplished, and a few I have and a few I haven't. One of the ones that I haven't accomplished yet, I spoke with Mr. Black about it for the first time since he's been here a couple weeks ago. He gave us a list of things. The budget stuff is not fun, I'll be honest with you. So in the perfect world, we'd have money to buy everything we want to buy, employ everybody that we want to employ, and renovate our facilities the way we want. We're not in the perfect world. But one of the things that was highly on my list, and I added to the list that Mr. Black gave us, and I put it as #1, and it's not anything to do with any facilities, it was to get our teachers better insurance and better benefits, because I know some of the school systems in our area do a better job at this, and I feel that we can do this also. It's been a priority of mine. I've got friends on every school board except for Delta, and I've been picking their brains on what they do and how they do some of the things they do, including Yorktown. And I think that we have a staff here that is high quality, and I think that you all deserve better insurance and better benefits than what we give you. It's tough to say that when we're cutting budget, but that's a personal goal of mine. I'm going to challenge the other 4 board members to either iron sharpens iron and we butt heads on it, or we agree to figure it out with Mr. Black and get that done. I don't know how quickly it'll be, but you have my word that that's a top priority for me. So that's all I've got. Nope. Motion adjourned, Mr. Kinnick. Second, Kara. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 7:56.
Jeez, man.